Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 198.
Today is moving day again, so we got up after sleeping in just a little bit from our late night game night and beignet party we had, and got everything packed up, called Belle Services, had them come and get all of our bags. Of course, we cleared the safe and cleared the drawers, made sure we had nothing left in the room, took a couple carry-ons with us, but we didn't leave the resort just yet. Our photographer friend came into town today and he took an Uber from the airport early this morning over to our resort here at French Quarter because we wanted to take some pictures around the resort. We really love the resort here. It's absolutely beautiful. The only downside is it is incredibly sunny and hot today. It is definitely a mid-July day in Florida, and so we tried to kind of find some places in the shade to take pictures because if you're in the sun, it's just like immediately soaked in sweat, just completely miserable, getting a sunburn just standing there basically. So we found a few spots to take some pictures around, and before we left, we said, okay, we're done with pictures. Can we do the scavenger hunt? Because they have a scavenger hunt here at French Quarter too.
The scavenger hunt here at French Quarter is a lot of fun and definitely has more clues than the ones at Art of Animation and Pop Century. And this one's really cool because one of the cast members here at French Quarter actually painted all the music notes that we are looking for. And that's a lot of talent and a lot of work, and we really appreciate it. And they did a really good job hiding these music notes. Now, French Quarter is really unique because their scavenger hunt does not stay the same all the time. I mean, once you find everything, it'd be like, okay, you don't want to do it again. So they change it out seasonally. They also change out the prize seasonally. So we walked around and looked for all of these music notes that were really well hidden. Some of them were pretty high up. Some of them blended really well into their surroundings. So it took us a little longer to find them, but we did finally find them all. It is so hot outside, and most of them were outside. We get back and they're like, here's your prize. And it was a button. And I so appreciated it. But it was a lot of work for that button.
Yeah, we were, after getting the pin yesterday and the cool 90s toys, like the nostalgic toys, weren't really wanting a button. I mean, I get it, because the button they can change out every time they change the scavenger hunt, and you can kind of collect them all, but yeah, it was a little disappointing because it was really hot today.
I mean, if they threw in like a Mickey beignet with a button, then that would have been a really nice prize, especially after all the walking we did in the heat outside. But we do have our button, we got our prize, so we all went outside and called an Uber because we're heading to our next resort, which is Contemporary. We're very excited. We're actually staying in the garden wing, not the main tower, but we have a garden view, and there are really pretty views here at Contemporary, so we're very excited about this room.
When we got to the resort, went to the front desk to get checked in and just started chatting with the cast member who was there and talking about, everything, and they asked, of course, where are you from? That always leads to, oh, we're from here. Oh, you're local. Like, yeah, about as local as you can be. Well, what part of the area do you live in? Like, we live at Disney World, and that conversation happened a lot. And so he started talking to us, and we were just kind of chatting about the room tours that we do and everything, and our room wasn't quite ready. And he said, well, what other rooms do you need to get tours of here? And I said, well, there's one room that I haven't been able to book that I don't think I'm going to be able to get this year because our calendar's filling up and it's a little bit expensive. It is a Tower Club room. Now, Contemporary is a little bit different than most of the other resorts. It has 2 club levels. Now, Polynesian has 2 club levels, as does Grand Floridian, and then Contemporary. The 2 club levels are the Atrium Club, where we stayed last time. That is the top floor of the atrium when you first walk into the tower there. It's all the way up on the 12th floor. So when you look up, it's the very top floor. But they have a second club level that's the Tower Club. The Tower Club is the 14th floor, and it's not in the atrium, so it's completely closed in. It's where all of their suites are. The 1-bedroom suites, 2-bedroom suites, presidential, vice presidential. And because of the layout of all the suites, they have 4 or 5 individual rooms up there that you can get that are basically like the other rooms in the tower, but a little more spacious and a bigger balcony on them. And the cast member said, well, if you'd like to tour that, I'm pretty sure we have one open. I can take you up there to tour it. So he went back and talked to the manager and cleared it with him. And I was like, yes, we get to go tour this room. So we went up to the Tower Club. Really cool because I really like this floor. It's a lot quieter than the Atrium Club. But again, the room's really hard to get because there's only a few of them. Went over to the room and he let us do a tour of the room. And then on the left of the room, you've got your little bench. At the end of the bed, you do have a king-size bed. So it's a very comfortable king-size bed in here. And instead of having the USBs built into the nightstands, they just have these little hubs put in there because they have not replaced these with the ones that have the built-in USBs. But they do have one on that dresser, so you have plenty of space to plug your devices in. And then on this side, we have the matching end table there as well. And if you'd like to see the entire tour, it is linked down in the description below. Now, this room is part of the tower that has been completely remodeled with the new Incredibles theming and is opening in mid-September of 2021. We do have this room booked, so we're actually gonna be able to stay in this room and get an updated tour. I'm very, very excited about that because I love the Tower Club, I love Contemporary as a whole, and I'm really excited to stay in this room again. So if it is after they have reopened, you can check down there for the updated tour as well. We headed back down to the front desk, and by the time we got down there, the cast member who was still with us checked, and sure enough, our room was actually ready now. So we went over to the garden wing. We have a garden wing, garden view, and did a room tour there of that room as well. This room has 2 queen beds, and it also has a pull-down couch. So this room actually sleeps 5 people. You could have 5 people in this room. Would not recommend that being 5 adults based on the twin bed, but we'll show you that here in just a moment. In between the beds, there is a nightstand that has a couple doors on it, a little bit of storage inside there, but no shelves or anything, so a little bit limited on that. But they did add a USB and outlet hub up here on the top. So you don't have the built-in USBs on the nightstand, but you do have a place that you can plug in all of your devices at night, which is helpful because there's not a lot of outlets around the room otherwise. And if you'd like to see that tour, it is also linked in the description and up there in the corner. Now, these rooms are going to be remodeled just like the tower rooms, but they are not starting them until the tower is completely finished and reopened. So if they happen to have finished those garden wing rooms, we will have a tour that's updated of that down in the description as well.
After we finished with all the room tours we've done so far today, we walked over to Magic Kingdom because it's one of the reasons we love staying at Contemporary. And we decided to go on the teacups. We had an idea for a really cool photo that we thought we could do. And so we waited in line and got on the teacups with our photographer, and we tried doing a really cool photo where like the background's blurry while we're spinning, but not too fast because I don't like to spin very quickly. It did not work out. Unfortunately, we were blurry the whole time, but it made for some really hilarious photos.
And we actually could have made this work if we had a flash of some kind with us, but we didn't bring one with us in the park, so we just got blurry pictures instead.
We then walked over to Country Bear Jamboree because we do enjoy this show. It's also air conditioned indoors where you can sit down, and it was really hot by the time we walked from Contemporary to Magic Kingdom. Then we're outside for a bit, so we did want to do something indoors. And then we went over to Enchanted Tales with Belle, which I love this adorable show. I know a lot of people think it's for kids, but I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, especially seeing the kids' faces as they're the little characters and helping Belle tell the story. But there's another reason that we came, because we're about to go see Beast, and so we wanted to see Belle first because we do have an early dinner at Be Our Guest, and so we wanted to see Belle and kind of go with the whole Beauty and the Beast theme. So we went there and then headed over and checked in for our reservation at Be Our Guest.
This is actually our first time eating at Be Our Guest for dinner since they switched over to the prefix menu instead of a la carte. So I was really curious to try everything. I liked it a lot before they changed the menu, and I've been hesitant to go back, but I figured going with 4 people, we can try more stuff. So it made sense to go back now. We started things off with our own choice of appetizers. I had to get the lobster bisque, of course, because it's lobster bisque. How do you pass that up? And Alyssa got the French onion soup. Delicious French onion soup, by the way. Absolutely love it. One of our friends got the salad, which was actually really nice with the fruit vinaigrette on there. And the other one got the meat and cheese tray, which had a little card that came with it telling you what everything was that you were eating. And after that happened, I realized that every charcuterie should come with a card that tells you what you're eating, because the server always tells you like what each of the cheeses is and the meats is and what accompaniments go with what, and then they walk away and you completely forget everything they told you, and you just have to kind of guess what should go together. So I think they should have a guide for every single charcuterie tray.
Of course, they also brought the complimentary rolls, which were really good, and I really enjoyed them with my French onion soup. It was really nice to dip it in there. For entrees, I could not pass up the lamb chops because for those that know me, I love lamb. So whenever that's an option, I have to get it. And these were cooked perfectly. They were so good. I was so glad I got them. And Robert got the pork tenderloin, which of course I had to try because we're sampling everything so we can try it all. And I really enjoyed this. He did too. This is a really good option.
But it's an option I probably wouldn't have chosen if we weren't sharing, because there's a filet mignon on this menu that sounded really good. But since one of our friends got that, I thought, okay, we're all sharing, it's okay. And the filet was amazing. I did really like the pork tenderloin, but yeah, the filet beats it out for me. And our other friend got the roast chicken. That was actually really good too. It was really moist. Usually they dry it out when it's roast like that, but it was really nice.
It was so nice having our friends here. Of course, we enjoyed visiting with them and laughing, and it's been a while since we've seen them. But getting to try all the different things here tonight was so much fun because sometimes you don't know if you're gonna like something, but it's really nice to know that you have other options as well and you can try everything. So we definitely had some favorites for next time we go.
For dessert, you don't have much choice. They bring everybody their own individual little dessert sampler. There's an almond macaron on there. That was pretty good, but nothing really special about that. There was a dark chocolate truffle that was filled with a ganache. That was really good. Super rich though. Really, really heavy. If you don't like a lot of dark chocolate, probably not gonna like that very much. And then the kind of highlight of the entire thing, a white chocolate chip teacup filled with the gray stuff. So it's a really perfectly themed dessert. The gray stuff, of course, is delicious. If you don't believe me, well, you should, because I would not lie to you.
Or you can ask the dishes. I don't know that they'll answer you, but you know, you can try.
If they do, you might want to see a doctor, because
run.
They shouldn't be talking to you.
And the paper on the plate was also edible. We didn't eat it.
No,
it looked
we did
pretty,
not.
but they did inform us it was edible, and I was like, oh, okay.
Cool. If I want to eat paper, I can.
One really cool thing about eating in the ballroom is that you do get to see Beast as he walks around to make sure all of his guests are obeying. And so we got to see him several times walk around. So we tried to get a picture with him in the background, but it ended up looking like one of those creepy photos when someone sees a celebrity and they try and sneak a photo with them in the background. That's basically what we did for the Beast. Our bad, we tried. But it was really dark in here too. It's very dark, very difficult to take pictures. But it was really cool to get to see him because he passed by our table several times. And while they waited for the check, I decided to walk around a little bit. I wanted to get some pictures and video because the details in the castle are truly amazing. And I don't even think most people even realize some of them that are there. For instance, the huge, gorgeous windows in the castle have snow outside. So I'm just gonna let you think about that. It's snowing in Florida.
In July.
And it was so cool because you can see the snow coming down. There's like this blizzard outside. It's amazing to see. And then if you go off to the side a little bit, there's a music box of Belle and Beast, and they turn and go around. It's so cool. And of course they're playing Beauty and the Beast, which makes sense. And then if you go in the West Wing, this is actually my favorite room here in the castle. I did ask if we could eat in here, but unfortunately we couldn't. It was already full. And they have some amazing details. Of course, everything is like shattered and there's claw marks through the pictures. But the best part is the rose, because it's there, it's full, and it's floating, which is just amazing. And the Imagineers just put so much work and so much detail here in the castle. And so I just love seeing all of it and just going around and truly appreciating it.
But you want to talk about dark while you're eating? The West Wing is probably the darkest place on property to eat, besides the Sci-Fi Drive-In Theater, because that place is like completely dark when you're eating. So it'd be cool to eat in the West Wing. We've never done it, but at the same time, it's also very dark in there and a little bit creepy because you have like thunderstorms going on in the West Wing that aren't going on outside in the ballroom. Again, Imagineering just did an incredible job on this restaurant. As you are leaving the restaurant, you do get to go through and meet the Beast, and he gets to bid you farewell. So we got to go over there, get a few pictures with PhotoPass, and talk to the Beast for a couple minutes before we headed back out into the park.
We then made our way to the front of the park, but we are not going to walk back to Contemporary this time because it is incredibly hot. It's also been raining off and on, so we just decided to take the monorail. It's very simple and easy, and we can sit down in the slight air conditioning. It's not super air conditioned, but they try. So we headed back to our room, and we were pleasantly surprised to find a little gift in our room when we got there. There was a little plate of chocolates that we have gotten before, but it was still incredibly sweet. I specifically love the chocolate covered strawberry. It even has a little Mickey head on it, but the monorail really is the coolest part of this. It's a white chocolate monorail. They even have the windows like detailed on the side. It's truly amazing. We also had another little gift because one of the managers that we had been speaking to earlier wanted to send a gift as well, and so they sent us some Mickey-shaped chocolate chip cookies with milk, because we've been talking about how amazing the cookies are on club level. Now, these are not the same adult chocolate chip cookies on club level, but it was still really sweet that they remembered that we talked about that and sent these to our room.
And as much as I wanted desperately to just eat the cookies with milk, like right now, we did just finish a very large dinner, and I am not hungry at all. So we're gonna save it for later. We went ahead and walked over to Bay Lake Tower, down to the elevator up to Top of the World Lounge, and went up there because we want to go ahead and get a spot before the fireworks start. It tends to get real busy around fireworks time. We went out on the balcony and just stood out there waiting for the fireworks to start and enjoyed watching Happily Ever After with our friends there. And of course, he was watching it and also taking pictures of us randomly throughout as we enjoyed the show.
After the fireworks were over, we did head back inside and just wanted to talk to our friends for a bit, just sit. We've had a really fun day today. We've been doing a lot. We also have a very busy day tomorrow, which is going to be a lot of fun, but very tiring. So we just wanted to sit and chat and catch up with them. And it was really nice. We were there for about an hour and a half before we realized that we were actually really hungry now because it has been a couple hours since we've eaten. So we did order a plate of nachos to share, the pulled pork sliders as well because we love those, and the margarita flatbread. Nothing super heavy, but enough to kind of tide us over. It is late. We don't want to eat a ton of food, but between the four of us, this is a really good amount of food. Once we were done with our food, we headed back down to our room and went to bed because, like I said, we do have a busy day tomorrow. We're very excited about it. A lot of fun stuff coming. So we'll see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.